Good morning, everybody, and this is your DAX day trade setup for today. So we've had a pretty strong break of this this level that we had, and that is 14,081. I am a little bit concerned about the oscillator at the moment, and we're still below the 155. So the trend on the 8 hour is still very much to the downside. We do have this level here, and I just need to get to the weekly for that one because it is a weekly. Oops, it's not exact, so let's just move it. So that's the level we're looking for there. That was the previous break, so that is the area where you're going to get a lot of action as well. Have a look at the oscillators on the weekly. You can see we have got a bounce off the 20. We are crossing over above 20. That is a very bullish signal on the weekly. You've got a piercing bar on the weekly, and then you've got a continuation. So for me at the moment, the potential for us to find some structure right now to buy off is very much there. So the weekly is looking really bullish at the moment. This is kind of what we're looking at, and we've also got a bit of a new trend line forming, which will be there. Okay, so let's just get down to 8 hour. 8 hour, we are looking at a few things. So we're above the first bit of structure there, and then we've got this bit of structure that we're heading for. I suspect we're going to tag this. There is a bit of a gap here as well, but you're going to get gap, and then you're going to get just above the gap 14,826 before a bounce back. Trend is still down on the 8 hour, just bear that in mind. If we start moving through the time frames, 3 hour, we have a crossover finally. The last couple of weeks has been downward trend, and a bit of a lesson here. You can see grouping of the bars here. So you can see grouping of price in amongst the moving averages, and the moving averages are close. Then we start breaking away from the moving averages, and they start spreading apart like this. And for as long as they are this far apart, the further apart they get, the more volatile it gets, and the stronger the trend is to the downside. Then you get them sort of starting to roll, which they did last week. Okay, and then it gets even more volatile. Then you get a crossover, and when you cross over, you get a retest. So now you've got a potential crossover. We still need to cross over the 155, all the two moving averages, before a reversal. So either we get a crossover, or they all come together, similar to this, and then we wait for a break to the upside or to the downside. And normally it'll range when the moving averages come through. So it's just gives you a quick visual, which is why I like moving averages. Give you a very quick visual of what's going on, and at a glance you can see, well, the trend is down, I should be selling off this. Right now you look at this on the 3 hour and you think, potential trend change here, so I need to be looking for opportunities to buy off. So that's kind of the narrative for me today anyway. So looking at the hour, that's the one that we want to pay attention to. This is the closest bit of support that we have, and each one of these tails here would be support, and that is at 14,100. Trouble with that view is it erodes pretty much all of yesterday's gains. Not impossible, but when you had 2 days in a row like this, and actually a bit longer than 2 days in a row, because we had that was an up and down day, that was an up day, that was a green day. So yeah, 1, 2, 3. So it's been 4 days in a row that we're really getting some traction to the upside. So if we do pull back to 14,226 and 14,100, definitely an opportunity to buy. Target is 14,826. 14,826 is going to be an interesting area, because I don't just think we're going to just fly through that. We'll probably reject that area first, and on the higher time frames, trend is still down, and it's also a breakout retest on the higher time frames, and that's from the 8 hour up to pretty much the monthly. So that's going to be a really solid, strong level, and it's not a level that I'd want to be buying off. I'd rather be taking profit off that level, waiting for the pullback, waiting for second and third attempts at breaking through that level. If those fail, then you're going to sort of see a bit of a deeper decline. But at the moment, that is the view that we have. Lastly, there is a bit of a structured move here, and that was the consolidation, and you can see where that target is, right to the upside here. Okay, so let's just get down 15-minute. That's what you'd be wanting to do. Yesterday was a bit chaotic. I don't think probably would have been able to buy off here, but very, very volatile. So at the moment, two things. You can either pay attention to what's happening here, because this is going to be kind of like a London breakout strategy. Wait for the open. There's your range. It'll probably range around in here till the European Open. The pre-market will open and we'll find a direction somewhere. Any one of these tails here that you see, this one, any of these three, this one here, possibly even these over here, will offer some kind of support. So if we did break the downside, then what you're looking for is where's the closest place for support. And you can see there is already there's a support resistance there, so definitely an opportunity to buy off. So 14,318, 14,226, and if it's even deeper than that, 14,100, definitely areas to buy off, expecting a continuation of the upside and to hit this measured move, which is the previous breakouts on the higher time frames, which is 14,826. So that's kind of my view at the moment. Definitely not looking for a break of that area just yet. That'll be a profit-taking area. So pullbacks are to be bought at the moment on the hour. If we start dropping below these three levels I've given you and start, well, not the three, but at least this one, if we start dropping below 14,100 and retest, then I would expect continuation to the downside. So that's kind of my view at the moment. And I think 15-minute is the right time frame to pay attention to. Just wait for the pullbacks onto structure, and then you're looking to buy. Hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.